Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to Hearthstone. It is April 9th and we are doing a live stream recording and I am not making a great amount of progress. So we're trying to make casual victories with Paladin or Priest. And I'm going all around the place. Let's try this Priest deck and I need 2 more victories there. I have a whole bunch of news still to cover. Journey to Guru certainly left me with a lot of noise. I'll send you a Loki. I'll send you a challenge at the end. You don't need to send me a challenge right now.
Light shall bring victory. Light smiles upon the just.
Yeah, I wish I had 15,000 people watching. That would be nice. But that's not my streams, certainly. Like, even though these streams are working really way better than any of my pre-recorded videos on my channel, it does, like, the highest concurrent number of viewers that YouTube has said has been only 3 or 4. So people come in and come out, but I imagine this is all going to grow way faster. Just in the first couple live streams I did, it certainly showed a factor of much more increase, much more people subscribing, much more people just seeing my channel. So live streaming is definitely the way to do it on YouTube now. That they promote those videos a lot.
You have
hey, there's an easy victory. Good. That's exactly what I was hoping to do. Is let's get through these quests quicker. According to you're a gamer, I don't know why I wrote that down. A watchdog group has banned a Mobile Strike ad. So Mobile Strike is that cell phone game that advertises on YouTube and TV quite a lot. I think it does TV. It's I think the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger in it, and they banned one of the ads, and I watched it because it had 3 larger ladies in bikinis walking around playing on their cell phones, sunning themselves outside, and that they banned it for objectifying women. Now, I guess I have to agree with them. The only reason why these women were in bikinis at all was to objectify them. There's no huge backstory or reason why they would be out in bikinis, sunning themselves, playing on their cell phones. And it doesn't help anything that all 3 of the women in the episode are in bikinis, and it doesn't help anything in even more. I think they specifically didn't like the fact that they were larger ladies, pretty large things. Now I can almost see how you would accidentally do this, particularly in the face of this terrible Pepsi commercial, because you might just go to a hiring house that specializes in larger ladies, and you go, you know what? This'll get us some extra points if we do something. Or maybe they were gonna try and have a bigger statement from that. Loki says he's read that Mobile Strike has spyware in it. If you're getting Mobile Strike from, I would say if you're getting it from the Apple Store or the Google Play Store, you're probably fine, because they do scan those games for viruses, and the Google Play Store, I know in particular, has the ability to remove apps. So it's possible that Mobile Strike from a third party might trick things. It's very common for websites to say they have the original real version of a game, and then instead they put a spyware or adware in it. But I don't think the main version of it happens. That being said, the Mobile Strike thing itself probably does have a lot of spyware-like tendencies in the fact that it probably does watch, well, it almost certainly does know what ads you look at and they show to you and know what you click on and all of that. But I don't think it has any ability to, like, go and see what you're doing on your browser or in your email or anything else. And that's really where the spyware comes in, is when it is actively trying to infiltrate your entire system and take everything else. Whereas many legitimate games on cell phones that are free to play, that have that ad element to it, definitely do targeted marketing and look at what you're looking at inside their own app. And you have to always be aware of that, and you can get an ad blocker software sometimes on cell phones to help have that happen. So the bikini clad fat ladies, I don't think they should have banned it though, particularly since this was a European ad group. I've seen European ads that have no problem in some European countries having completely, like, topless women to sell soap. So, like, it's not unheard of in advertising to objectify women and men, and that, I mean, you've got only 30 seconds at most to catch people's attention, and that's one way to do it. And I would like to make an argument in defense of objectifying people, because I really don't. If people are pretty, if they're getting paid to be pretty and be actors and actresses, they know they're pretty, good on them for objectifying themselves and making some money on it. So, yeah, I feel like they're specifically banning this ad because it was fat people, and so I guess fat people don't deserve to make money. Is what this advertisement people says, or maybe they're just doing stricter regulations or something. I have a list here of patched games. Zelda Breath of the Wild was patched. I was trying to do different categories of things, and I don't know how well that's actually going to work out, but Zelda Breath of the Wild was patched at least, and I can't do anything. I swear I cannot do anything. Let's just play this, and then in return. Ukulele was patched. It's gonna be patched when it comes out, but everything I hear about Ukulele is it's not very good at all, which is kind of a shame. It's yet another example of a Kickstarter game that is below what the expectations were, and like, I just can't ever stop pounding that drum that people shouldn't Kickstarter games, and people shouldn't go to Kickstarter to make their games, or Fig, or any of those services. It's just, I don't think you're gonna get enough money to make a good enough game on these Kickstarter services. I just don't think it's gonna happen. And so, yeah, don't Kickstarter. Ukulele, I kind of wanted that to be good. That's supposed to be the spiritual successor to Banjo-Kazooie. I would like to see some remakes of Banjo-Kazooie on PC. I'd like to see Ukulele get patched and maybe be a better game. It seems like the reviews, particularly on Ukulele, are half and half. So if you're an old school platformer player that liked something like Banjo-Kazooie, where Banjo-Kazooie was very much this 3D world where you're platforming to find a lot of collectibles. If you like that concept, you're probably going to like Ukulele a lot more. If you don't like that, and it's going to feel like collecting 300 feathers in Assassin's Creed, then you're probably really not gonna like ukulele. Let's see, I'm gonna lose here. Let's see. Castlevania is being turned into a pachinko slot machine. So it's a pachinko machine with a slot machine combined by Konami. The latest in many examples of Konami not caring about their video game licenses, and they're just gonna use it to sell pachinko machines. It doesn't really matter, though. Like, at the end of the day, these pachinko machines are only in Japan, and I think the Japanese people that play pachinko machines don't care anyways. They'd play any pachinko that they could find, and it's really just Konami selling to pachinko parlors, which very possibly means Konami is just selling things directly to the Yakuza. Because it's possible, I don't know, but that the Yakuza owns most pachinko parlors. So there may be all kinds of stupidity and weirdness going on there that I don't know anything about. So ignore my baseless speculation. A Digimon story, Cyber Sleuth Hacker's Memory was announced. And that caught my eye. I don't even know if it was announced for the West. But it caught my eye particularly since I haven't seen Digimon in a long time. And I was like, what is this gonna be? And I saw a trailer for it, and it seems like the idea is it's not the original Digimon world. That if you've watched the first couple seasons of Digimon, it's not going to be set in that world, I don't think. I think it's going to be in a completely different world that just also has Digimon. Which, okay, that's cool, then that makes a lot more sense. Like, Digimon are just the competition to Pokemon, and I guess it's a good thing that we have more competition to Pokemon, if we're gonna be honest about it. Is there anything special about this character? Reduce the cost of elementals in your hand by 1. There we go. I saw a trailer for Quake Champions, and I'm starting to wonder, after seeing that trailer, if Quake Champions might be the new Borderlands. There is a little bit difference in Quake Champions because it's based off Quake, and that's a lot of rocket jumping and a lot of verticality, where I'm playing Borderlands 1 and you can't even double jump in Borderlands 1, and I keep thinking to myself, I could have sworn that you could have double jumped in Borderlands 1, but apparently not. What does this guy do? Deal 3 damage to a random enemy minion. Let's see. Attack here, and attack here in the turn. What was I talking about? Yeah, Quake Champions. So it will be a slightly different game, and it won't be RPG-ish, and it won't have that element of a lot of missions in it in Quake Champions. But the personality kind of feels a little bit like Borderlands. And that's good news in my opinion, because I feel like you can probably do to have more games that have that Borderlands mentality in it. Let's see, how are we going to do this? Well, I'm either going to kill a bunch of these guys or not. Loki asks, Hmm. Yeah, I didn't even know you could rocket jump, and can you in Borderlands 2? Are you into Pokemon or Digimon? Let's see. How could I put it? I kind of want to be into them, but I'm not really into them as far as Pokemon and Digimon. I was interested when I saw that they think Ash Ketchum in the Pokemon show got his first kiss, and I'm always interested in, like, they thought that he might Ash Ketchum in the Pokemon show might actually win the tournament in the last tournament he was in, but no, they didn't let him win the tournament. But that's kind of it. I'm not a real fan or anything. I'm not watching the latest movies of the Pokemon series, and of the games I maybe have very well played the, like, Pokemon Red and Blue and Yellow, but I haven't played any more of that. As far as the Digimon games, there's like not any I even know that are on PC that are worth playing. So that's kind of it. And I watched like the first couple of seasons of Digimon when it came out originally, but nothing since then. And that's kind of a bigger issue, is that how the Saturday morning cartoons have now in the United States been completely eliminated, so you can't even really watch Saturday morning cartoons. So it's kind of a shame. But, well, apparently you can rocket jump in Borderlands. I've never even tried it. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is where it's at. I played Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic the Gathering. I played Magic the Gathering during Ice Age when that was coming out, which is ridiculously old, and I got my butt kicked and I got screwed out of a lot of bad trades, and eventually I decided I didn't want to play it anymore. Also, like, my parents thought it was witchcraft or something. I don't know. They were going through a phase, and they took them away. You can, what can you do on Roku and Apple TV? You mean like watch Crunchyroll and see, or can you play Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic the Gathering on Roku and Apple TV? Is there an app for that? That would be amazing. The Yu-Gi-Oh! Cartoon did amazing things to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game, and I played several of those card games because I honestly feel like when it comes down to just being fun, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card games in video game format are the best, because you can get those Egyptian god cards in some of those games, and you can win on the first draw. Like, you can do Cyberstein in some of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card games, and on your first turn summon a what is it? A 3 blue eyes white dragons, or white eyes blue dragons fused together. So, like, on 2 turns on one of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card games, I would win every single time against the computer, and that's about as much as I want to play it with it. But I do like the craziness of Yu-Gi-Oh! I wish Hearthstone was crazier than that. Recently, though, let's see. So much money spending on Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card games. Yeah, I was never ready to spend the money. Recently. Look at the prices now, and they're all worth a lot. Yep, I bet they are. But, yeah, if I had any of those Magic the Gathering cards, I could probably have made a small fortune. Oh yeah, you can watch cartoons on, well, yeah, on Netflix and Roku and everything else. You can watch cartoons, and frankly, that's about how you do it these days. Is you get You get Crunchyroll or you get Netflix, depending on whether you want to watch anime or whether you want to watch more friendly cartoons. Like that whole Netflix cartoon. I look at what Netflix adds all the time, and like 50% of what they add is this. I'm too old to watch cartoons, though. Honestly, I got Raw and Exodus. My brother got All Mine. Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. Yeah, that's it. Just to play Pro Tour and mini championships. Everyone. And see, there's all this passion for Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon, and I played the Pokemon card game. I thought the Pokemon card game, though, was a just simplified version of Magic the Gathering, so I didn't play a lot. But I was probably too old even when that Pokemon card game came out. They'd be playing it. But there's so much passion there, and every year Magic the Gathering does a new version of their cell phone app and all of that, but they've got the Planeswalkers in it so much. And when I was playing Magic the Gathering, there was no Planeswalkers or any of that stuff. So they've changed how you play the game, and the app is never very good. And it's always super greedy about trying to get as much money out of you as possible. And just all that combined eventually convinced me I didn't really want to continue down that path with Magic the Gathering. It's too expensive a hobby. And a lot of it also, your enjoyment on playing the real world card games is, can you get with a group of friends? Can you go to the comic book store once a week and play Magic or play Dungeons and Dragons and have that social occurrence? And that was just something I never really wanted to do or could do in my situation. And it's why it pushed me to play video games a lot more. I wouldn't be focused on video games right now if I had gotten better or gotten deeper into Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Magic the Gathering or any of those. But I've played them. Oddly, I've probably played a large percentage of every game that's ever existed. Yeah, Magic the Gathering in particular is greedy, but any of the collectible card games are. We see that in Hearthstone too. This latest expansion should have given free quest cards to every single player for just in celebration of the new expansion, and they didn't. Instead, they made them legendaries that you have a very low chance of getting, and then even on top of that, the quest cards aren't even always the best cards you could have gotten. There are better cards in the Unguru expansion than the quest cards.
Well played.
$20 gets you a measly 15 packs, I believe. Well, depending on what dollar you're using, I thought it was a if you buy the 50 packs, you can get $50 for $50. That's about it. I wouldn't be surprised if people are hoarding Magic the Gathering cards like crazy. That wouldn't surprise me one bit. But it's also kind of like the comic book speculation, where people saw that the original Batman like Adventure Comics and the original Batman was Detective Comics, I think 16, and Action Comics #1 is the original Superman comics, and those are from like the 40s, and those are worth a lot. And when those became news stories that they were worth a lot, people started buying like first issues of every single series that happens. But the thing is, now so many people hoard the first issues of comic books that they're not worth anything. So, like issue 1 of the new 52 of Superman or Batman is not worth anything at all. It's worth the $250 that you paid for it, and that's it. So there has to be real scarcity that occurs, and that real scarcity is only going to start happening for Magic cards once lots of people stop hoarding the Magic cards, because you can trickle it out all you want, but the price will slowly go down.
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
Yeah, the lands thing in Magic and Pokemon too is just, that's what makes it more greedy in my opinion. Because on top of buying a pack and getting, how many are in the pack? Like 20 cards? Something like that. There might be the vast majority or half of those are land cards.
Here we go.
I think there's a limit to it, but you end up with all these ridiculous land cards that you don't need, and I'm glad that Hearthstone doesn't have a land concept, which was kind of weird when Ferraria came out and said that they were going to Ferraria came out and it had this whole hex-based land concept, so every turn you place down 2 lands. But since Ferraria is a computer card game, it's not too bad. Unfortunately, you guys have got me talking about card games. I'm supposed to be talking about I got you have Action Comics number 2 of what? The New 52 or Action Comics number 2? If you've got Action Comics number 2, you're pretty much you're probably set for life. But your uncle has it locked in the safety box. Well, okay. As long as they're saying safe in the safety box, I think your uncle is right. Wait till your uncle dies, since he says he's going to kill you if you sell him. Just wait till he kicks the bucket, then sell him, and it will be worth way more.
Here we go.
You don't want to kick yourself like today, sell it for a few $1,000s and find out it's worth $1 million by the time you're ready to retire. But there is a slight concern. You might want to ask your uncle, does he have that in an acid-free plastic with hard cardboard in the back of it? Is it getting exposed to sunlight or heat or moisture or humidity? Because you might just open that safety box one day and find out that it's still somehow yellowed. You have the original number 2. He has that and number 1 too. I think you need to go rob your uncle. Nah, is he gonna share the money with you when he does sell it? Or it seems like you might be set.
Time runs out on me.
If only the Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Arenas had been invented. I mean, it would start. Like, number 1 is worth 680,000K. Give me some of that money when you sell it. I could use that. Wow, you were sitting on a fortune. If it's worth that now, that's probably gonna set you for life. It could probably set 2 people for life if you wait until you're like 60, 65 to sell it. So I would wait until you're about to retire and I would sell it. You're getting them all in this will? Alright, good. Just wait. There's a lot of people in the worse situations than you are, look. That don't get anything in their will, or they get a bunch of debt. Well, this has been a weird one, and I still have a ton of news to talk about, and we still have a lot to go with. Stay tuned if you're watching live. Otherwise, as always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.